This narrative is proudly brought to you by Polly Speaks For You. At Polly Speaks For You, we are committed to empowering individuals, especially those with disabilities or learning challenges, through innovative text to speech and voice recognition technology. Polly Speaks For You is more than just software, it's a tool for self expression, connecting people with the world in meaningful ways. By blending the richness of history with cutting edge technology, Polly Speaks For You demonstrates that every voice, whether preserving the past or shaping the future, has the potential to inspire. While we strive to make the story engaging, our primary focus is on storytelling itself. The visuals are secondary. We are showcasing the remarkable capabilities of text to speech software that bring these stories to life. Geeta Mosquito and the Samosa Saga. I'm Geeta Mosquito. And if you've never heard of me, well, it's probably because I'm busy in my kitchen, making the best samosas in all of Chatsworth, Natal. That's right, my samosas are the talk of the town. I can hear aunties gossiping over their cups of chai, whispering about my crispy, golden delights, stuffed to perfection with potatoes, peas, and the kind of minced meat that makes you question whether you have been living under a rock your entire life. But there is one problem, well, one big problem, and that's Mrs. Patel, my dear mother in law. Now, don't get me wrong, I love her, but this woman could be an entire season of a soap opera with the amount of drama she brings into our home. Mrs. Patel came to live with us, because family bonding was essential for Rajesh and me. But what it really means is that I have to cook every single meal with her looming in the background, shaking her head like I'm some kind of kitchen disaster. You see, Mrs. Patel has very particular ideas about food. She's from Bombay, and according to her, if you don't make a curry just like the one she grew up with, you have failed. There's no middle ground. So imagine me, a South African born Indian woman who spent years perfecting her cooking, being judged every time I step foot into the kitchen. Geeta, she'd say, this curry is an insult to Bombay. Where is the soul? The love? This is not Bombay curry. It's an embarrassment to our culture. Now, let me tell you, no one knows curry like I know curry. I make my curry with spices that make your tongue dance and a heart full of love. But Mrs. Patel? Oh, she'll give you the look. And that look, darling, that look is like being judged by 1,000 curry critics at once. It cuts right through your soul. The other day, I was trying to make a simple vegetable curry, and she walks into the kitchen, leans over my shoulder, and says, Geeta, this is not right. It's missing the garlic. You have to have garlic in a Bombay curry. And she says it so loudly, like it's a crime. So, I dutifully added some garlic, but then she sniffed the air and complained, this is not Bombay curry, it's a disaster. A disaster. It was like I had just ruined her entire childhood. But here is the kicker. While I'm busy trying to win her approval with my cooking, I've got a secret I'm hiding. Sometimes life throws you a bone, and other times, it throws you a lotto ticket. That's right. One day, I bought a lotto ticket on a whim. Just for fun. What are the chances, right? But then, one evening, I sat down to watch our usual soap operas with Rajesh when I thought, let me check those numbers. I pull out the ticket, scan it, and I freeze. Every single number matched. I was rich. And let me tell you, this wasn't just any amount of money. This was lotto money. I couldn't believe it. It was like all my prayers to the curry gods had been answered. Now, do you think I went to tell Mrs. Patel right away? Oh, no, I had a plan. I was going to play it cool, be subtle. I was going to win her respect with a real Bombay curry. A curry so perfect that even she would have to admit that Geeta Mosquito wasn't just some useless daughter-in-law who couldn't make a proper curry. So, I did what any woman with a little bit of cash would do. I hired a chef. Yes, that's right. I found a Bombay curry chef, one of the best in the city. This man could make a curry so good that the streets of Bombay would bow down to him. And guess what? I paid for it. I wasn't going to have Mrs. Patel turning her nose up at my cooking again. On the day of the big dinner, I went all out. I got the finest ingredients, the most exquisite chutneys, and set the table like I was about to serve royalty. Rajesh was nervously pacing around the house, whispering, Geeta, do you think she'll like it? But I wasn't nervous. Oh, no, I knew what was coming. And then, she arrived. Mrs. Patel walked in, her usual scowl already firmly in place. She glanced at the spread before her, and I could see the gears turning in her head. She didn't say anything at first, just took her seat and stared at the food. And then, silence. She picked up her fork, slowly, carefully, and took the first bite. Her eyes went wide. She chewed. And then, nothing. No dramatic sigh, no critique, not a word. Just silence. Rajesh was on the edge of his seat, practically holding his breath, and I was sitting there, grinning like the Cheshire cat. Finally, Mrs. Patel put down her fork, looked at me, and said, Geeta. And for a split second, I thought, here it comes. She was going to criticize something, maybe the rice was too soft or the chutney too sweet. But instead, she said, this curry is perfect. And that, my friends, was the moment. The moment when I, Geeta Mosquito, stood taller than ever before. I smiled sweetly and said, Yes, Mrs. Patel. It's perfect. Just like my samosas. She blinked at me, her mouth slightly agape. You didn't make this curry, she said, almost accusingly. I leaned back in my chair and gave her my best I am better than you smile. Oh, Mrs. Patel, I didn't. I won the lotto. I can afford to hire the best chef in Bombay now. And I'll tell you, I've never seen Mrs. Patel so quiet in my life. She just sat there, eyes wide, clearly processing what I'd just said. She couldn't believe it. I had won the lotto, and I wasn't going to sit in the shadows anymore. Oh, no, I was going to take control of my life and my kitchen. From that day forward, every time she tried to critique my cooking, I'd simply smile and say, Sorry, Mrs. Patel, I'm too busy counting my winnings. And you know what? It worked. The critique stopped. The comments stopped. And Mrs. Patel? Well, she finally started appreciating my cooking, especially when she realized that my samosas were now available with a side of success. So, the moral of the story, my friends? If you want to win respect in your kitchen and in life, sometimes all you need is a little bit of luck, a lot of spice, and the guts to go after what you deserve. And if all else fails, just tell them you have won the lotto. If you're enjoying this story, please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue creating content that educates and empowers. To learn more about South Africa's leading accessibility software and to support our dyslexic-friendly initiative, visit www.polyspeaks4u.co.za. Drop a comment if you want more information. Thank you for watching this video.